Sachin, hi. Thanks for taking time out and joining in. Your opinion on the new organizational structure for Bharti's India and South Asia operations, and do you see a material impact on operations really going forward?
Look, not really. I think Bharti, they are quite big and quite complex, so there's always a need to restructure and reorganize. And obviously, they've always been very much a customer-centric organization, and obviously the customer base is still very much growing. And these guys are looking at ways to actually simplifying and extracting as many synergies as they can. So I don't think it's really going to change the landscape from Bharti's perspective that much anyway, but if they can simplify the organization, there's obviously there's an added bonus.
Sachin, if I look at the new structure, two distinct consumer business units with clear focus on B2C and B2B segment, how will this change things significantly for Bharti going forward?
Look, obviously, I mean, before they were organized more across the products. You could say they had a mobile business, a broadband business, and then the enterprise business. And now they're basically looking at the consumer segment, and then they're looking at the enterprise segment. And if you look at the consumer segment as well, even the consumers are seeking more the bundled products. They are looking for wireless offering as well as a broadband offering, and that's how the Bharti is looking to realign themselves at the moment as well.
Sachin, is the new model perhaps an indication of maturity in the telecom business model as well, that if it's not tariffs which will lead growth rather than internal efficiency and productivity, or do you see more potential for incremental revenue from voice?
Look, I think there's always an element of that as well, that the things are starting to slow down. But this is not just unique to Bharti. A lot of the incumbents around the world, they're always reorganizing or reinventing their processes and organization structure as well. So I don't think stuff like this is necessarily going to lead to massive earnings growth or massive cost efficiencies they can realize. But if they can even slow down the rate of decline in some of the businesses, that's always the underlying promises as well.
Sachin, what do you make of the new set of people who will now lead the various business operations? For example, North and East and Bangladesh operations will be headed by Ajay Puri. South and Sri Lanka will now be headed by Vineet Saneja, and the Western region will now be headed by Raghunathan Madhavan.
Oh, to be honest, I actually don't know these people individually, but I think the only thing we know is Bharti has a pretty strong top management and a very strong middle management team as well. So I imagine these guys have picked the top of the crop, I guess.
Sachin, since we have you with us, what are your expectations from the first quarter? Do you expect Bharti to surprise the street positively? And your revenue and profit growth projections?
Look, I think 1Q, or let's actually more, we're not expecting much to change on the competitive side. We haven't seen any aggressive price cuts in the market. If anything, 3G customers are starting to come on stream, so if anything, the numbers could potentially surprise on the upside. But sequentially, it's very hard to imagine much more than probably 2 to 3% growth at this stage. The other big variable for Bharti in particular is what's happening in the African market. And the sense we're getting is the company is moving more and more towards the managed services model. So, and once again, we haven't heard much about any aggressive price cuts in Africa either. So I think, if anything, the numbers are probably the risk of the numbers are probably to the upside, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to be significant though.